candidate Donald Trump to Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order today signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe also confirms this story. While a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on the report of an investigation, Fox is told that AG Bondi is taking referrals from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The source says Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps. Now, the move comes just a couple of weeks, Jillian, after Gabbard sent a criminal referral revealing what she called, quote, overwhelming intelligence to prove a conspiracy by then President Obama and his national security team to undermine Trump's candidacy and his first term in office.
Now, as you guys are seeing, it's starting to move in the right direction. And we look at Jeffrey Epstein. That seems to be moving in the right direction because we have Ghislaine Maxwell saying Trump wasn't not involved, right? So, of course, they're going to push back on that. The deep state and their little puppets are going to come out and talk and say, oh, he made a deal with Maxwell. That's why she's saying that he wasn't involved. And it's all back and forth, guys. So now a lot of people want, President Trump and his team to be completely transparent. And they want the verbiage to be truthful and accurate. Now, as someone that has been in the SEAL teams and worked for the CIA, I can tell you that does not work. That does not work. That's not what they're doing. Because if you have liars and psychopaths and people that have deep pockets that can fund people to kill, maim, and destroy credibility and all that kind of stuff, you have to be like special forces. You have to make them think that you're incompetent, right? So that they're like, don't worry, they're incompetent. They do stupid stuff. We have them. And then it's like, boom, Bondi comes out, grand jury. Oh shit. We're focused on Epstein and saying that Trump was Epstein's pal. Oh no, we get misdirected. We were focused on that, and there's a bigger thing that happened. Yeah, that's like ambushing, right? Ambushing. You think you're walking down the trail, everything's all hunky dory, and then the machine guns start happening, and claymores go off, and all that stuff. So today there would be drones and all kind of crazy stuff, but that's where it used to be when I was there. So very, very interesting. You guys think bigger picture. You'll be able to see, the reason these things happen. It's frustrating to me to see people that are highly intelligent, that have worked within many different administrations and have done great things, and they don't see this. They don't see this. Of course, they weren't special forces, right? They didn't work directly for the CIA. Maybe some of them worked inadvertently with the CIA or knew about the CIA or worked in the intelligence fields and were regular military. There's a whole different ball game, guys. That's played. So I can't say that I'm completely privy to all of the things that happened even when I was in office, when I was in military and CIA. So there are lots of different things that happen. There'll be times where I think I know everything, and then something will come out, and I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy." Now, as far as there's talk of people that are being arrested and by SEAL Team 6 and Delta and so forth, and being transported to Guantanamo and some of these other sites. I'm pretty sure that's going on. I can't say definitively. I don't talk to those people, but I used to play that game, and I know how these games work, and I see things, just like everybody else, and I can go, oh, this is what's going on there. Now I can talk about it, and you'll never see, or you won't see for a while, any material evidence of that, and you'll say it's false. And then the people that are, have a deep background in this, that are talking this stuff, you'll say they don't know what they're talking about. Well, some of us do, right? Some of us do. And some of us can look at this stuff, and sometimes some of us have contacts, right? And we just kind of like, reveal what we can. Now, as we move forward, we're going to start to see some of this. Now, you know how Osama bin Laden, when SEAL Team 6 basically blew half his brains out, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we dumped his body at sea. So some of these guys may try to escape, and, they may have to be dumped at sea. So I don't know. Some of that may be going on. Wouldn't you like to know about that? You probably never will. But they're not going to let on about that. And that's the way it's going to be, going forward. All right. So let's look at this just a little bit more. Oh, not that. America's wealthy are quietly buying their way out with golden visas. No. That's not what we wanted. Let's see if we can get back to where we were.
Candidacy and his first term in office. Now, to be clear, there are no charges filed at this point. This is very early in the process. Now, what we're seeing today is taking evidence that the Justice Department believes it has to a grand jury to secure an eventual indictment. Now, we don't know where the grand jury will meet or who would testify. Grand juries determine if there is enough evidence to indict. They may find out there's not. Grand juries in the United States are secretive, and it's normal not to know all the answers at this stage. Again, though, the Justice Department declines comment on any investigation, but Jillian, certainly a story we will continue.
So, yeah, the grand juries are secretive, just like SEAL Team 6 and Delta. So they're secretive, and they're basically deciding, how this is going to work out. They're going to look at the evidence, and it's probably not going to be so good for Obama and his pals. But we'll see. Who knows? Who knows who's on that judicial, who's going to be doing that? Are they going to be like, like mostly Democrats, mostly or conservative, mostly liberal, or half and half? Who knows? Now in Texas, so Greg Abbott said, Governor Greg Abbott told the Supreme Court of Texas, all right, I want you to look at this head guy, woo, and look at the evidence here and see if what I say is correct, that he should be fired. Oh, well, they're all Republican judges, all 9 of them. Not looking good for woo. And so we that's kind of what they're trying to do with Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court has really been giving President Trump, a lot of wins. I think out of 16 different cases, the ones that they didn't, give him like a win are very suspect. Right? So the two out of 16 they didn't give him. So they're still working on those. So we're seeing all of the lower courts that are trying to, without any, like within hours, stopping his decisions. I think they're going to get to the point where like the lower courts don't have any jurisdiction here, and stop being assholes. And if you're gonna be an asshole, we're gonna rip your judgeship away. That's what I like to see. All right. Well, if it's going to happen that way, I don't know, because we're seeing some crazy stuff happening now. Maybe, baby. So I think we need to, just pay attention to things that are going on. Now, the economy. stock market